Well.
Good morning.
Excuse me. What a load of guff that was last night.
You go from a high, don't you?
What a load of rubbish.
It's crazy. Go to that.
Turn the music down. We shouldn't be happy today.
No,
we shouldn't be celebrating.
No.
Load of guff. Load of rubbish.
That was poor, mate. Really, really poor. I was thinking after 10 minutes, okay, Ghana doing okay. You think like you can defend for 10 minutes where you'll break them down, but it didn't look like scoring, mate.
No. I'm annoyed at Thomas Tuchel for getting me excited, for me coming on there and saying, we're going to win the World Cup, I think we can win the World Cup. And then I'll see that rubbish, and I go, of course we're not going to win the World Cup.
So what
Rubbish we are,
from
useless.
Him is that, like, we can applaud his subs against Croatia, but we can't last night. I'm sorry, but yes, I get it. You pick your team first half. Second half, you do not need Rice and Anderson in the same team.
100% right.
Now, I've said this multiple times when everyone was saying Bellingham, Rodgers, who's going to start? Bellingham, Rodgers. Well, some games they can both bloody start. That was the game. You knew Ghana were going to sit back in a low block. You did it. You just needed Anderson to sit. That's it. You needed more bodies in and around Harry Kane. Even bring on Watkins. Didn't bring on a second striker. Left the changes a bit too late. Like I thought he got his subs wrong last night. That was a game where, okay, Declan Rice, not a out-and-out goal scorer. You're having to go a lot higher. You know what? How many 10s have you got? Take Rice off. Take him off at half-time. So I think he got his tactics wrong.
For me, he got his tactics wrong. He got the starting 11 wrong. How Jed Spence is starting over Nico Riley, I'll never know.
It was a painful watch.
How Anthony Gordon starts on that left, I'll never know. Yep. How Noni Madueke wears an England shirt, I'll never, ever know. The tactics were completely wrong. Just everything. I mean, Anthony Gordon out left. If Barcelona are watching that and they've signed that cheque for £70 million, part of that fault was the fact that Jed Spence gave him the ball so late that when he got the ball, there was 3 players around him, right? So there's hardly anything he could do but make space. Madueke on the other side, my goodness, how many times did he get the ball out wide and he had room to run at the defender and runs about 3 yards, stops, turns and passes the ball back.
Yeah. He did it a couple of times where he ran in behind and then got a crossing and you're like, okay, then keep doing it. Then he stopped doing it. And you just seen a quality shift when Saka come on.
Yeah, totally. But Saka's obviously not fit, right?
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford, obviously not fit, is what I'm hearing.
I think Rashford is.
Well, I'm hearing he's got a little niggle. That's why he only came on for like 15 minutes or something. Yeah. But then you look at the right back. I like Reece James. I think he's an excellent player. But that game, for me, was crying out for Trent.
Yeah, it was
if you need anyone on the right fullback position to whip crosses in, it was Trent. And it also, sorry, Gabs, it also underlined for me that when you've got a team that play in the way they do with 10 behind the ball in a low block and you need someone to unlock their defence, Cole Palmer, I mean, my goodness.
Yeah. It was a game for Palmer.
Of course it was. I mean, it's just, honestly, the manager leading up to this competition, like all England managers, they get me excited. I come on national radio, I say we're going to win the World Cup. I see guff like that, and then I thought...
as well, look, you look at the game last night, you say, okay, you've got a cheerleader on the bench in Henderson who's there for vibes, when you could have had a player like Palmer just to open up a game like that. That game was crying for someone who's got that clinical pass. That little lofted through ball into Harry Kane or one of the attacking players. We haven't got that on the pitch. Gordon, if I'm Barcelona, I'm checking if the ink's dry. Oh. I really am, mate, because 70 million for Anthony Gordon. Newcastle must be laughing because he wasn't great last season. He was poor in the first game. How he started and lasted as long as he did. The manager was going crazy at that left-hand side during the game. You could hear it on the comms. And he just got the ball and he looked like, I've got no tricks. You had a quick fullback against him, no ideas.
But both of them, Madueke, equally as bad.
Yeah, but I think Madueke done better than Gordon.
No, I'm not having it. They were both... I texted producer Ollie during the show, during the game, and I said to him, these are possibly the worst 2 wingers we've ever started a World Cup game.
I think Madueke done a lot better.
What are you talking about? He did nothing.
He did.
What did he do?
At times, there was 2 or 3 times where he got past his fullback, mate.
He was shocking.
Mate, but at least he got to the byline a couple of times and got crosses in. Gordon was man-marked out the game. The right back was quicker than him. He had nothing, Anthony Gordon. No tricks.
Madueke only got to the byline and crossed the ball in the second half and they switched him sides.
No, he did on the right-hand side.
He did, mate. He didn't. He didn't with one cross.
He did, mate. I promise you first.
Well, he didn't on my telly.
I'll show you, mate. He got past on the right-hand side.
Madueke's terrible.
He's not great.
He's terrible.
He done better than Gordon, 100% for me.
I will mark on both 4 out of 10, and that's.
I'd give Madueke a bit longer. That's why he took Gordon off and not Madueke. I just think Gordon for me was a standout player. I thought Declan Rice was poor. We had the absolute joker, Joel Bayer, on yesterday saying he's England's most important player.
Yep.
Do me a favour.
Yep.
No, he's not. I thought Harry Kane at times was wasteful on the ball.
Just going back to, I mean, he should have scored at the end. Just going back to Declan Rice. I love Declan Rice.
Yes.
I really like him. He don't score enough goals to be an 8.
No.
Why is he not a 6 and then stick in a Cole? I know we haven't got Cole Palmer.
Andy,
stick in a player.
Andy, I've said this a million times. I get it when you're playing the top teams. You need an Anderson and Rice in there. When you're playing a team like Ghana, Panama, teams that are going to sit back, you don't need both of them.
No.
That's where you play Bellingham and Rodgers. It's not rocket science. That's what should start the next game. Get another 10 on there. Get another striker on there. It was crying out for Watkins to come on, make some runs in behind. Harry Kane's hold-up play. Every time he got the ball, he was giving it away. He was sloppy. He has to score that left-footed chance. That's what he's been doing for Bayern Munich. 61 goals last season.
Yeah.
I just think all across the pitch, we were shaky. Reece James' crossing was poor. Declan Rice's crossing was poor. It's a wake-up call to the team of players to say, like, not everyone's going to come out and play. Croatia did, but Ghana defended well.
I don't want to come on national radio and go, we should have taken this player, we should have taken it. But it did underline, for argument's sake, we talked about Jed Spence, right? And Nico O'Reilly, I think, should have played much better.
100%.
But I think when you look at the players we left behind, right? Jed Spence is not better than Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, with the experience and going forward, much better in that position.
Too casual yesterday.
He's not. I mean, no disrespect. He might grow into that role. He's currently not England's best left back. No way.
No. And in a game like that, Andy, when you're playing Gordon off that left-hand side, who's right-footed, why would you play Spence off there as well? Would you want O'Reilly? And I get it, O'Reilly likes to come through the centre. Tell O'Reilly, overlapping runs, get crosses into the box for Harry Kane. So for me, mate, very poor performance, and they deserve to be criticised.
Yeah. Anthony joins us. Morning, Ant.
Morning, Anthony.
Morning, boys. You all right?
Yeah, without swearing, sum up England in one word.
Dross.
Yeah.
Absolute dross, mate. It was horrendous, to be honest with you.
Go on.
I'm probably going to upset a lot of people. Dig out Harry Kane a little bit, actually. I'm hearing people mention the words Harry Kane and Ballon d'Or in the same sentence. For me, if that's a performance of someone who's in the running for the Ballon d'Or, then there's problems. There really is problems.
He's offered 0, didn't he?
Oh, he offered nothing. I mean, you know yourself, Gabby, if your game's not working, you've got to try a little bit of something different.
Yeah.
I know his game isn't running in behind, but what he's doing isn't working. So just change it up. Even if you do it once or twice across the 90 minutes, back into the defender a bit, drop deep, spinning behind, make the defender think. I mean, you've got to compete with the defender. All right, the Ghanaians defended well, but I want to see him jump. He didn't even make the challenge. Right?
And he could have got away with it, couldn't he? With that left-footed chance.
Yeah, he could have got away with it, and everyone would have thought he was the best player on the planet again if he'd have scored that. But for me, you've at least got to occupy the centre half. Cannot back in, cannot stick an elbow, cannot tread on their feet, cannot pull them. Go back to the dark arts, do something, make them defend. He made them look world class, the defenders. He didn't offer anything.
Anthony, thanks for your call. Let's go to John, Liverpool fan. Hi, John.
Morning, John.
Johnny there?
Morning, gents. You okay? Good show as always.
Thanks, man. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I know it wasn't. Yeah, not too bad. And on the way to work, but after a late night. But let's not get too downhearted. It's not a bad result. We're not going out. We're still going to get through.
It's a bad performance, though.
Sometimes you need these results. It wasn't great. And sometimes you need these results just to give you a bit of a sharper focus. The left side wasn't great. I kind of agree with the previous caller on Harry Kane. I'm sure even he'll say he didn't have the greatest game. But again, I also think it's a different game, even with these stupid hydration breaks that break up the momentum of the match. So if you're on top, all of a sudden you've got to have a 3-minute break.
Yeah.
And then it's like starting the game all over again.
I'm not having that excuse for last night, though.
No, that's not an excuse, but he makes a good point. It was raining yesterday when we had a hydration break.
Of course, hydration breaks are wrong, but that wasn't the reason why we didn't perform last night.
Yeah.
Wrong selection.
Can I just also say, people have got to stop going on about hydration breaks now. It's in the World Cup. Nothing we can do about it. It's for advertising reasons. We understand it all. I mean, there was one bit where there was a collision of heads, and it was 2.5 minutes before and the commentary team were just going nuts about do it now. Like, it can't be. You got to wait till it happens. Just wait.
You see as well, Andy. That was a game yesterday as well where you bring Trent on.
Yeah, that's what I said.
See what I'm saying? Palmer and Trent, and you're like, okay.
It's totally different.
Reece James crossing was poor.
Yeah. Now, if I had my own newspaper, the back page headline would just be Guff. Laura Kirk-Francis is here to tell us what the real back.
Morning,
Maybe, Laura, someone has gone with Guff. Good morning to you.
Morning. They've not gone with
There's
Guff.
nothing funny, Laura.
but
That's
Why are you laughing?
We're not in a laughing mood, Laura.
Yeah, we're not. We're in a bad mood
We're
today.
disappointed.
Yeah, this is a Goldstein and an
nothing's funny.
Agbonlahor you don't want to mess with.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, noted. Right, let me just bring the vibe down.
Yeah.
Just match the vibe on the floor.
Bring it down.
Well, the papers are pretty much going with that vibe. So no fewer than 3 of them have gone with Yawn in the USA.
That's nice.
The Sun, Yawn in the USA. Yawn in the USA and the Star as well, and the Daily Mail. A bit more measured in the Daily Telegraph that says reality check. I think based on the fact that we were very giddy last week. This is a bit of a reminder of how England can play. The Eye are focusing on Harry, so Harry's pain. The Times also calling England's Lions muzzled as well. So very much reflecting your feelings. The one thing I will say is that the Sun, on the front of the Sun, have tried to give it a bit of a positive spin. Yeah,
Quite
what
nice
do you think of
headline.
that? Don't worry about a thing because every little thing is gonna be all right. So the Sun going with some Bob Marley.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that you pointed out as Bob Marley song rather than just a headline.
I just wanted to make sure everyone
everyone
understands. Gabby, do you think this is where we as England fans just need to maybe get around the team a little bit? We're being overly critical. It's not over. Are we letting ourselves down here?
No, you know what? I don't think we should be too critical, but it's okay to criticise a team when they don't perform. And a manager who got so many plaudits for his subs but got it wrong last night, that's fine. Because we know that the players see it, we know the managers see it, we know the FA see it. So we have to be honest about the performance, the subs. And we said it before the tournament. Palmer not going, Trent not going. It's okay if we go and win it. If we're playing like we did last night when we're crying out for those players, they deserve criticism.
Do you think, though, last week we were very excited. There was no mention of Palmer, no mention of Foden, etc. We've now suddenly, one bad performance, we're crying because the players that we thought should have gone weren't there.
Well, I think in the first game we didn't need them, right? So there was no one saying, "Where's Palmer? Where's Trent?" But we needed them last night. It was a game where we couldn't unlock them because they were blocking so low and they had so many men behind the ball. And so when you've got a team that doesn't invite you in, you've got to find a way. And I didn't think we had the players on the pitch that could find that way.
Do you think, though, this is going to be a bit of a one-off? Like, I can't see teams setting up against that as we go deeper into the tournament. So therefore, the argument we need Palmer,
I think
etc.
when you get
game is
I think when you get quarters onwards, maybe.
Do you know what? I think they will. If we get Congo or Senegal or Mexico, whatever it is,
Senegal.
I think they'll look at that performance from Ghana and say, that's the way to do it. And they'll have more on the counter-attack. Look how many times it was like touch and go. They should have had a penalty. Consa definitely took the player out. And had a couple of more opportunities. Semenyo looked sharp. So I think teams will use that and say, okay, that's how you frustrate England. And they haven't got a Kyle Walker who can run back 100 mile an hour and save the day.
You don't want to play a Mexico team that puts 10 behind the ball in Mexico.
No. Frustrate you.
Yeah, because you got to beat them in Mexico. I know that sounds obvious, but play Mexico in Mexico. You can't play for no draw. You're not going to get any decisions.
I totally agree. And was it Congo that drew against Portugal?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so Congo got some good players. Wissa was a very good player. Wan-Bissaka's there. But I just think, like, last night, they deserved the criticism because it was too slow. You could see the manager screaming at Spence and screaming at Gordon. Honestly, if I'm Barcelona, because Barcelona, every game they play is against a low block. So Anthony Gordon looked clueless last night. No tricks. The right back had him in his pocket. So if I'm Barcelona, 70 million.
Nuts,
All the
man.
best.
Nuts.
What about this then in the Sun? So Charlie Wyatt writes about shuffle the deck, Thomas. Give knackered Rice a
What?
rest.
How many words were there?
Shuffle the deck.
Oh, right. I thought that was a nickname.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could
Shuffle
be.
the deck,
Shuffle
Thomas.
the deck.
Was it a game for him? I said it before the World Cup started. Everyone's saying Rodgers and Bellingham. How about play both of them until you play the real top teams? Yesterday didn't need Anderson and Rice. Half time, take Rice off, no problem. Not your performance based, but you know what? Anderson's a sitter. I'm going to play
Totally
two tens in front. I'm going to play Rodgers and Bellingham in front. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, they weren't attacking enough for us to need two holders.
Don't need it.
Madness.
And Declan Rice, yes, for Arsenal, he goes further forward, but he's not a natural goal scorer. I'd rather someone like Rodgers or Eze in that position than Declan Rice.
Yeah. Where did you watch the game? Did you watch it all?
I watched it at home, yeah.
Oh, it's a late one for you.
Very late, but we've got to do these things.
We have got to do these
We
things.
have. We
right.
have.
It's our
yeah.
job, mate.
You're right. It's a job.
Yeah, it's our job.
You've got
mate.
one job to do, and it's watch England.
Watch England, which was a tough job.
Yeah,
It was tough. It was a tough job last night, yeah.
Laura, we'll see you in a bit.
You will do.
Good work as always.